Hello, and thank you for clicking on the link to watch this video. We're going to look at recording and how to track customer deposits for jobs and also vendor deposits for bills that probably already been paid. Right? So the first thing would be the deposits, and there's a few different ways to do it. I mean, if you don't mind having the negative AR there for a period, if it's like a short-term thing, then just go to banking, make deposits, and you can easily just choose who your customer is. It could be one way to do it, I've heard. And then of course from account you want to do accounts receivable and put in the amount that they're getting, and this is going to obviously credit, debit your bank and credit AR, so it creates a negative AR that you can then apply and receive payments and put in, this is like a upfront deposit. Just one way to do it. And go ahead and save and close, and now when I go to receive payments, and for Stacy I check off the invoice, it says a customer has credits, then you can just go to discounts and credits and then go ahead and apply it and move on. Now that's one way to do it. For if you're doing where the accounting period really does matter, you might be getting an upfront deposit on a job, a contract gig or something like that, then you definitely want it to hit another current liability and not AR, right? Because you're going to go across periods and you don't want to leave that negative AR in the books. So if that's the scenario, there's a few things that you want to do. Now I could do that deposit and hit the other current liability instead and tag the customer. But a lot of people use items. So I've created an item on my item list for this, and I'm using a other charge item typically for that, and it should be called let's see, deposit. There you go. And notice this deposit is actually hitting revenue. I don't want it to hit revenue. I want it to hit another current liability. So I created another current liability called customer deposits. Because it's, again, I do want to show that I have the revenue, but it's not really, it's a liability for me, and I can then, I'll just show you how it washes out. So then you could either do an invoice. It all depends how you want to show or reflect or book the upfront deposit. You'll see in the Help Center they'll talk about using a sales receipt, and we'll do the same customer there and exclude the billable time and costs, and I want to go here, and in this case I'm going to choose my deposits and say she's going to go ahead and give me, make this a little bigger, $500 towards a job or something. So this would be my deposit, and this is going to then debit my bank account, or actually go to deposit funds. I can make the deposit, of course, assuming that's what the preference I have, but it's also going to credit the other current liability. So on my chart of accounts, in my customer deposits account, there's my $500. You can run a report on this and filter it for a particular customer and then watch it go. So let's say you've done the job and you're all done. How do you then wash out this deposit? So now I'm going to go to create an invoice. Same customer there. Exclude the billable time and expense. And let's say I sold, I'm going to sell a few things. It was some labor for, I don't know, $2,000. And then of course the deposit item I want to put in as a -1. So I have deposit, and I want it to go in as a negative, whatever it was. And I think I had -500. Okay, so this is going to go ahead, and the total of the invoice will be for $1,500, right? But remember, Stacy already gave me a $500 deposit for the job. I did the rest of the job, so the total invoice would be $1,500. The negative on the deposit line is going to then reduce the amount in the other current liability. And now, so when we go back to the chart of accounts, you'll see that that liability account is now 0. And then we'll deal with how to handle vendor deposits in the next video. But the theory is similar. It's just that I'm going to use an other current asset account or the make deposit form and hit either accounts payable or that other current asset account. So, but this is how you do it with items and how you get rid of it on an invoice for customer deposits. Hopefully that's helpful. I look forward to coming back to a different video. Thanks.